Today's recipe, the ingredients that we're going to use: cream cheese, an onion, Italian sausage, spinach, fresh spinach, mushrooms, sun-dried tomatoes, and these are the julienne cut with the herbs already in it. Shredded Parmesan cheese, the family size tortellini, cheese tortellini pack, oregano, basil, onion powder, garlic powder, heavy cream, tomato bouillon, and this Grill Mates Montreal steak seasoning. This one is spicy. They have another one that's not spicy, but I like a little spice to my food. And then I also have, tucked back here, cauliflower. Now the cauliflower we are not going to use in this recipe, but if you are looking for a low carb version, then you can substitute cauliflower and use cauliflower instead of the cheese tortellini. Hey foodies, welcome to Foodie Friday. You guys, I have a delicious recipe for you today. You guys, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, my name is Keisha and this is my channel, Lakisha Keene Saving Greens, and I welcome you. Today we are going to make tortellini soup. You guys, let me give you a little back history on this. Okay, so this past weekend we had a function, a women's function at my church, and I was asked to make some soup. And so I made this tortellini soup. And you guys, I had such an overwhelming response to that soup that everybody wanted the recipe and thought it was so good. So a few of the ladies even asked me if I would do a class so that they could come and I could teach them how to make it, like I did with tamales one year. And so ladies, I'm sorry, but I am not gonna have enough time to get together and do that before the holidays. So I decided to just make this video that you can watch and follow along and be able to make this soup for yourselves. You guys, this soup is so quick and easy. I laugh because we were talking about that at the women's event. Now we like things quick and easy, so this recipe, this dish is gonna be quick and easy. One pot soup. And you guys, anybody who has made soup before knows that, you know, it usually takes some time. You gotta let it cook slowly. And no, this soup is packed full of flavor, and I don't have to spend all day making it. You guys will see how easy this is. So let's just go on and get started. Okay, just to show you how quick and easy this is, I am starting this at 4:35. It's 4:35 right now. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start by adding, and I already cut up and rinsed off everything, so we're gonna start off by adding these sun-dried tomatoes, oil and all. Everything goes in. To that, we're gonna add the onions that I cut already. And you guys, that was a medium to large onion. You just decide how much onion you want. That's what I'm putting in. Okay. And we'll just give this a little mix. To that, I'm gonna add these mushrooms as well that are already washed. You guys, please wash your mushrooms before you use them. They come in the packages and they have dirt and stuff on them. Even the sliced ones still have dirt and debris on them. Unless you want a little bit of dirt to go with your food, I suggest that you rinse your mushrooms. So these are all cleaned and rinsed. Now usually I would put in some minced garlic, but I do not have any, and so I am just using garlic powder. But if you want to use minced garlic, now would be the time to put it in as well. Okay, to this I'm going to add this Italian sausage. I'm going to go through and break it up a lot more as it cooks, but I just want to get it a little bit broken up as I put it in. Okay, so I'm just going to mix this around. You guys, some of these real big mushrooms, like this piece here, if you want, you can just break them in half. Or you can just leave them big like that. Doesn't hurt the recipe at all. Okay, so to this I'm going to start adding in my seasonings. I'm going to start with this tomato bouillon. And then I'm going to add in some of this spicy pepper steak seasoning. And then I'm going to add in some basil. Another thing that would really be good with this is some Italian seasoning. If you get that, if you have some of that Italian seasoning mix, then that will be good. You don't have to add everything in separate. Also, another thing that would be good in this recipe is if you have fresh herbs to use. So, like if you have fresh basil, fresh oregano, which I do have some fresh oregano out in my garden, but I'm gonna be using this dried oregano instead. So I'm just going to give this a stir, and I'm going to cover it so this meat can cook a lot quicker. You guys, my flame is on medium. It's not on high. It's on medium. So I'm just going to cover this and let it cook until the sausage is browned. So this is what we have. I just went through and I broke up a lot of these chunks, but I did leave some bigger chunks of sausage. But as you can see, it's pretty well cooked through. So to this, I'm going to add the cream cheese. Now you guys, at this point, if you want to try and drain some of this juice and from the meat, that's fine. You could do that. I'm not going to drain it. I'm going to leave it in because I personally just think that it adds to the flavor of the soup. So also, I wanted to let you know that you don't have to use sun-dried tomatoes. If you choose, you can use a can of diced tomatoes. That works just fine too. So all I'm doing right now is just breaking up this cream cheese so it'll melt quicker. Oh! And so I can spread it and get it evenly distributed. So just put it in. I'm just gonna mix this around. Okay, there you can see it's all nice and mixed in and creamy looking. Now I'm gonna add some water to this. So I'm gonna start adding some boiling hot water to this. Now you guys, not everybody has an Insta Hot spigot like I do. So just run some hot water, get it as hot as you can from your sink, and then just add that to this. It's never good to add cold water to a hot pot. It just adds to your time and takes that much longer for it to catch back up to the temperature that everything was prior to you adding that water in. So always use hot water if you're pouring it into a pot that's already hot. Okay, now after adding in the water, I added probably about 8 cups of water. We're going to add in the tortellini. And I'm also gonna add in the spinach at this time. So you guys, I had my husband go and pick up everything I needed for this recipe today. And bless his heart, he tries to get everything that I asked for, and he grabs, you know, the things that I asked, but he doesn't pay attention to, you know, whether it's fresh or not, and what I'm referring to is the spinach, y'all. This spinach, I don't know, I think this was a little bit older. It's been in that bag for a while, sitting on the shelf, because you see how it's all, I hate when it's like this. I hate when it's like this because it's all nasty to me. And this is what I'm working with because this is what he brought home. So if you send your husband to the store, tell him make sure he looks in the bag and sees that everything looks crispy and nice and good and not wimpy and, well, yeah, like this. If you watched my previous video that I did when I made tortellini salad, then you know why I'm saying that, because I stood there and picked out all the little wimpy pieces like what you saw me pick out just now, and I can't do that with this. So it just bothers me, that's all. It's just a pet peeve of mine. And I mean, he didn't know. He was just trying to help, I'm sure. But oh. But yeah, I wouldn't have. That wouldn't have been my first choice to put this in here. Whew. So I know he's gonna be watching this video because we sit down and we watch these videos together. Every time I upload a new video, we sit and we watch them. So thank you, babe, for going to get it. I'm not trying to talk down on you, sweetheart. I just wish you would have paid more attention to the inside of that bag and not just the fact that it was spinach. That's all. So I wouldn't have to be in this predicament. But you guys, I am going to let this come to a boil so that these tortellinis can cook. So I'm going to cover this and then we'll come back and adjust our seasoning. Okay, so this is what we've got here. It's all just doing really good. It's boiling, which is good. So right now I'm just gonna adjust my seasoning. I only add so much seasoning and then I always go back in so I can adjust my seasoning and make sure that my seasoning is good, or add to it what I need to add. Okay, so I'm gonna add in my garlic powder, onion powder, add that to it. I'm gonna add in a little bit more of this tomato bouillon. I don't need to add salt because this bouillon is practically all salt, so. And I'm gonna add in a little bit more of this spicy steak seasoning to it. And you guys, it's not really spicy at all. Yeah. Okay, now to this, I'm gonna add some heavy cream. That was half of this container. Okay, this is all looking really good. So I am going to taste again. Ooh, that's really good. Let me see, I am going to add just a little bit more of this tomato bouillon. Because once I put the cream in, it just took away from the I just need to add a little bit more, that's all. Yeah, that looks good. That looks really, really good. Okay, so last taste. Oh yeah, that's good. So I'm gonna let this come up to a boil and then we're gonna turn it down low. And so it's boiling now. Look at how nice that looks. Looks really, really good. Okay, so we're just gonna turn the flame down to a simmer, like so. And we're just gonna let it simmer for a little bit. Okay, so the tortellini is ready. The last thing I want to add to this is my Parmesan cheese. I'm going to add this whole cup of cheese to this. And I am going to turn my burner off and just let this cheese melt down into the broth. And I'm just gonna kind of let that sit for a few minutes before I serve it. But you guys, I'm looking at the time. It is 5:35. An hour. That's all it took, was an hour. And this soup is good as ready. So, you guys, once this cools down a little bit, I'm gonna let it sit for a good maybe 10-15 minutes before I serve bowls to people in my family here. But I am gonna let this sit for a little bit, and when I come back, I am gonna taste it on camera so that you can see my reaction and get my review on it. So I'll be back. Okay, so now I'm going to put this in a bowl so you guys can see it all plated up. It looks really good. It's really creamy. Get some of that good broth in there. Okay, you guys, it smells so good in my house. Can you believe it only took me an hour to make this? That's it, an hour. Quick, easy, yummy soup. Look at that. Watch this. Here we go. Look at that. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna try this in front of you guys. I know. First, I'm gonna try some of this broth, though, because this broth is just the bomb. It's good. Oh, man. It's creamy. It has really good flavor. You guys, the creaminess of this broth with the Parmesan cheese in it and that heavy cream and the This soup is still pretty warm. I did let it sit for let's see, it's been a good 20 minutes because I got caught up watching something. But it is still piping hot, and I'm not ready to burn my mouth on it. So let's see. Look at that. Some of that spinach with the tortellini on there. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Man, I wish you guys could taste this. It tastes so good. And leading into the colder climates that we're about to have, oh man, this is like the perfect soup. And it doesn't take long to make. And it tastes so good. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. You guys, I don't know what else to do to convince you to try this recipe. Mm. Mm. Okay. Whew, that was good. Yeah, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna eat this little bit that I dished out to myself. It's still kind of early. I normally don't eat this early, but I wanted to make sure that I got this video done, and so that way the soup can sit for a little while and thicken. It'll thicken as it sits. And so I wanted to allow it time for that and for it to cool down so we're not burning our mouths when we're trying to eat. But you guys, it is so good. And I am just so happy that you joined me on this video. And I hope that you will try this recipe. And if you do, leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think after you try it for yourself, okay? And you guys, if you're not already following me on Instagram, I post almost daily just food that I make for my family. Sometimes with using items out of my garden. Sometimes it's just, you know, just recipes, just food, because I'm always cooking. So if you haven't already started following me on Instagram, then I encourage you to go to my Instagram at Lakisha Keene Saving Greens and click follow so that you can keep up with all the foods that I'm making. Or you can find me on Facebook. So you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Oh my goodness, I'm ready to curl up on the couch with my blanket with a good show on and sit down and just enjoy this soup. And I hope that you are gonna have a good night as well. And I thank you for watching this video. And as always, you guys, God bless. The different spices and stuff, it's so good. Oh gosh. Hey, I'm trying to video. I'm trying to make a video. Stop being loud. Oh gosh. You guys, my son is here. I'm very happy to have him home. He's the one that's in the Navy, and he's been gone for a while. He'd been deployed, and then he was stationed up in Washington for a while, Washington State. And so he's home for a little while before he goes to his new assignment. And he's playing his game on his computer in my dining room. And I'm just competing to talk to you guys and him talking to whoever he's talking to on his headset. He don't realize that he's so loud. Anyways, okay, so we're gonna taste this soup. We're gonna taste this soup.